Now, in recent weeks, the country has been transfixed with the story of a young woman murdered while traveling in a van with her boyfriend. And while too much attention has already been paid, this case has taught me a few things. First, that Nancy Grace is still alive. And second, how extensive is this movement of young hipsters rejecting the dreary working life of us normies to...
Well, opinions are like assholes. Bill Maher is one.
And finally, new rule, someone has to break it to America's travel vloggers that the part of life where you're retired and joyride around the country, that's supposed to come after the working for a living part, not before it.
That doesn't even make any sense, Bill. Back years ago, I went for a travel around the entire United States and absolutely loved it. I mean, it was beautiful getting to see everything, you know, before all my cartilage was worn away, working for a company that didn't give a shit about me, not making enough money that I deserved, all that good stuff. So I was really, you know, lucky to be able to enjoy that before my body was broken down. But okay.
Now, in recent weeks, the country has been transfixed with the story of a young woman murdered while traveling in a van with her boyfriend. And while too much attention has already been paid, this case has taught me a few things. First, that Nancy Grace is still alive. And while too much attention has already been paid, this case has taught me a few things. First, that Nancy Grace is still alive. And second, how extensive is this movement of young hipsters?
That's right, Bill Maher wanted to shit on Gen Zs for being influencers. And out of all the examples he could have taken, like this, or this, or this. You remember this? This little fun thing I did, where I had the projector burn the retinas right on my skull? You could have taken any of those examples. But instead he decides to choose this case right here, where this unfortunate young lady passed away and was murdered. And he uses this in such a disrespectful way to just shit all over everything. To shit on a generation he doesn't understand. All of that good jazz right there. What a stupid, unbelievably narcissistic, dumb fucking thing to do. I don't even understand why anyone would ever think that that's a good idea.
And second, how extensive is this movement of young hipsters rejecting the dreary working life of us normies to instead explore the country in a van, which I found very odd. This is what retirees do. They get an RV and visit our nation's many historic outlet malls. But of course, the whole point of van life is to film your travels and put them on YouTube. You're not a hobo, you're a content provider. Let other people work stupid jobs like nurse or teacher. You figured out a way to monetize fucking off.
What? Nobody said that being a nurse or a teacher was a stupid job. Obviously, those jobs are important. It's just about following what you love to do in life. Some people love to do this, some people love to help people, some people love making buildings. That's not really a point. You know, there's downsides to each one. Say van life can be pretty grungy and terrible sometimes. You don't really have avid access to showers, a comfortable home, a steady income, anything like that. But there are people out there who love the content because America is so vast and it's just beautiful being able to take in all of the beautiful content, or whatever country. I'm assuming America because that's usually where this originates from. But that's the point. You are a content creator. That doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, you and everybody else in your generation. According to the LA Times, content creators are the fastest growing type of small business in the US. By one estimate, over 50 million people worldwide now consider themselves to be online creators or influencers.
Yeah, Bill, that makes complete sense, actually. It takes a lot less time, energy, and money to get an online content creating job open than, say, your standard type of physical. What is the point? Obviously, if you could do something for much less cost, you would do that. Say this right here. Say if these videos ever take off, that would be incredible. And all it cost me was what? A Sony ARX 700 and my computer and some monitors. That's it. Why would you not take that avenue if it's more economically sound?
When we used to ask kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? They'd say, firefighter, astronaut. Now most 60-year-olds would probably say, I want to be Instagram famous, bitch.
Spending $300,000 to become an astronaut, spending none of that, and making the same amount of money being an influencer. 300,000, non-300,000 in debt. Fuck me, man. Like, sit on my face. Here I thought that this was a good idea. Should have become an astronaut. You know the job outlook for astronauts. That job that doesn't exist anymore. It's incredible.
And I guess why not? The supposedly media-savvy millennials and Gen Zers really do buy stuff just because some ding-dong holds it up on Instagram. They laugh at boomers buying crap on QVC, but you're doing the same thing. Grandma's buying Tupperware, you're selling mascara to each other. The only difference is she's suffering from dementia. What's your excuse?
Nobody's ever made fun of any old person for buying Tupperware. Tupperware is something you need. That joke has never once been made in the history of the universe. Not to mention you need mascara because it's a product that runs out and... yeah, no, that's not the point.
I keep hearing that there are no good jobs out there. Well, there certainly are many shitty jobs out there, but there are also millions of openings in professional and business services, education, health, construction, retail, manufacturing. America right now has more job openings than at any time in its history, and more than there are people looking. A lot of the time, there are no good jobs out there just means I want to be Kim Kardashian.
What? Okay, so you said there's a lot of shitty jobs out there. But you didn't list any good ones. Some of the ones you listed require, schooling and debt, and then you don't actually get the job. All the other ones you listed are, well, shitty jobs that don't pay enough, and basically destroy your body and your soul and your mind and your will to live. Isn't that nice, Bill? And this is all coming from a multi-millionaire, by the way, which is amazing.
It means I want my job to be I'm me, and people pay to watch that.
That's what you are. That is your job. You stupid, unrelenting douche. That is literally your job.
They don't even want to achieve something that makes them famous. That would involve that pesky step of developing some sort of talent or skill. No. Getting followers, that is the achievement. I'd say take a good long look at yourself, but plainly that's all you do all day.
Well, first of all, a lot of content creation does actually take a skill. Say here, editing. I might just, slowly zoom into my face right now while I'm doing this, and that took me time to learn as a skill. I mean, do you know how long it took me, Bill? It took me like 15 seconds. But that's not the point. And you should take a big long look at yourself. Good God, look at that tie. God, the man's a multi-millionaire and can't even afford a paisley? It's terrible.
Getting paid to do nothing is their highest goal. So spoiled by parents who told them all you have to do is do you. They think...
No parent has ever said all you have to do is do you. That doesn't even make any sense. That doesn't even equate to anything. They did say if you put enough time and energy into something, you can probably achieve it. Whether that's true or not, who knows. But they never said that. No one ever said that in the history of mankind.
Most of the time, what these vloggers are reporting on is, in their travel, is just themselves. This just in, we woke up. It's hard to wrap my...
Well, yeah, they're reporting on themselves and the interesting life they're living and the life they chose to live, and people actually want to watch that. Unlike a crotchety, worn-out old man making fun of an entire generation for something he does himself and doesn't really understand.
My head around this level of narcissism of so many people trying to make a living by taking pictures of themselves like they're their own paparazzi. Everyone wants to know what went on in that van between Brian and Gabby. I want to know why filming van life is something anyone would find remotely interesting to begin with.
And again, with just the disrespect, the reason people want to know what happened in that van was because you're talking about a situation where someone died here, Billy. It's something to be handled with kid hands, you know what I'm saying here? Not whatever this shit is here. No.
When I read about this couple riding around for 4 months, I thought, how lovely that would have been when I was 22. I don't remember having the freedom to just drive around the country. I had to sell drugs.
There you go, that's Bill Burr's advice. Just become a heroin dealer. There you go. Those are the shitty jobs. You can make $10,000 a day, and all you have to do is deal with conjugal visits and a sea of 9mm. But somehow, you will still have more morality than Billy here. And can I just say, look at these people. Oh my god, you poor people. Having to sit next to this old fossil. You poor bastards to have to get that paid. Look at these forced smiles.
I had to sell drugs. I did.
Oh man, look at her.
I was starting a career. I had to pay for it. Nobody these days seems to be up for enduring those early shitty jobs and shitty apartments we all had as a matter of course on the way to something better. One of the most popular games.
I love how he keeps going on about how this wasn't a thing when he was a kid. Okay, so time for a little history lesson, if you will. Back in the 1960s, when LSD was still legal, and Billy here was like 75, there used to be these things called hippies, and they would get on things called Greyhounds, and they would buy things called Volkswagen buses, and they would go to places called California, and they would do exactly what people are doing nowadays. But somehow he doesn't remember any of that.
Nobody these days seems to be up for enduring those early shitty jobs and shitty apartments we all had as a matter of course on the way to something better.
Oh my god, I knew that argument was always coming. Okay, so here he's shitting on this generation for basically being lazy, when in fact it was his generation that fucked over the entire economy and, you know, caused the issue with not raising the minimum wage and buying out all the housing and raising the pricing on the housing, so that everyone after that was fucked. Nowadays, Billy Buddy, there is no one shitty job and one shitty apartment. There's 3 shitty jobs, 1 shitty apartment, and 3 shitty roommates. That's how it works nowadays, and there is no growing from it. That's why people want a job they can actually sustain, buddy.
One of the most popular games of the pandemic was Nintendo's Animal Crossing, a game where you don't do anything, there are no bad guys, you can't die, you can't win or lose. You just kind of fuck around.
Yeah, that's why. It was during a scary pandemic. People just wanted to kind of relax and, you know, have a good time. They didn't want an antagonist. They didn't want to die. It was a scary time for everyone. Why wouldn't that be one of the most popular games? And that's it. Put yourself in the mind of Bill Maher. I know it's scary. Shitting on the untimely death of a young lady at noon and then picking up your Cialis prescription at 2. Terrifying concept, but that's exactly what he did. He made fun of this poor girl's death to also make fun of an entire generation that he doesn't understand, that he is being hypocritical with. What a fucking turd. Fuck this.